Hi everyone, I am Vanshika from White Falcon Publishing, and today I am in conversation with Shruti ma'am for her book 11th, which she wrote by her pen name Imlliadrakee. And we are going to be in conversation discussing her book, the themes in her book, the poetries in her book, and why it is the way it is. Before I hop onto the questions, I would like to introduce you to 11th as a book. So, 11th is a collection of 11 Hindi poems, each with an elaborated chapter written in English on a respective subject. The subject includes prayers, love, witches, nature, trees, happiness, Mumbai, signs of a heartbreak, beauty, self, and sky. This one of a kind, fully illustrated book is filled with stories, ideas, anecdotes, and amusing facts related to the diverse topics. At the end of every chapter, you will also find a QR code to watch the audiovisual presentation of the poetry. I welcome you, Shruti ma'am, to the interview, or more like I welcome Imlliadrakee to this interview.
On the note of gratitude, I would like to start you and the entire team of White Falcon Publishing and how it all started rolling. And it's my first book, Vanshika, so it's definitely special. It's like a first child, and I had no clue how to go about it. But Sangeet and you all, the entire team have done, I think, the amazing job. So thank you so much. That's where I want to start with.
Right. Thank you for so much for the appreciation. I guess at the end of the day, this is what we always look forward to. I wanted to know about your writing background. And by writing background, I also mean why the background you come from or you chose to come from made you write something bilingual, Hindi poetries and English explanations and illustrations and all of that.
So I'll answer this step by step because nothing has really happened like in same frame of time. Everything is like correlated. So the thing is, Vanchika, I have studied in a Marathi medium. So my introduction to the local language, the local nuance, be it Hindi or Marathi, had been very strong right from the childhood. Of course, our movies are there and some amazing literature in Hindi. So somehow, when I picked up writing as profession, Hindi always came flawlessly to me than English. English is something I really, a language that I truly adore. I love, I want to master it. That has been, I think, my work right from the beginning. So, the book is bilingual because I belong to these diverse backgrounds. I belong to, my profession is advertising and communication, where again I work in mixed media, kind of bilingual. This thing, there is Hindi. There's of course there's regional communication. There's English communication. There's national in Hindi. So all it's all a mix and match. So when the book idea really came, I write the poems in Hindi only. So most of my poems are in Hindi. But when I was compiling them, I thought that there could be more. I just did not want to, just get like 50 set of poems and present it to the world. I thought that there is more to dig out as I go along, and which is why. And as I started writing about it, of course, it just came in English, not in Hindi. So, which is why it's all mixed and match. I think it just had to happen that way.
Right, absolutely. And you also have a lot of illustrations and artworks in the book, right? And
Yes.
I'm sure it was a collaborative effort of a lot of people to make this
Yes.
book happen. So were these
Yes.
illustrations made by you and other people, or solely by you, or solely by someone else?
No, no, not at all. The final illustrations, of course, I have given ideas, bits and pieces. So there are certain people I definitely want to name on this platform given by you, because I want their names to reach to the world. And it's sometimes it's that जब आप कुछ अच्छा शुरू करते हैं, so the good energies and good people just come in to help you. So this entire book is designed by my very dear friend Prajakta. You see the layouts and the kind of fonts and the entire design that you see. The illustrations are done by another dear friend called Chetan. He's again master illustrator and master artist. The music that's there on the QR code is done by music composer friend Sarabjot and another dear friend Bharat. He has done the video. So these couple of people and another dear friend of mine, um, uh, Lakshmi Pillai, she helped me with the English language and proofreading and all. So I really cannot take like the entire credit for this book because there are such amazing people who have worked on it. In terms of ideas, yes, the sketches and all little bit I had in my mind. So so it was a collective effort. We discussed together, but the finals are all done by the illustrations are done by Chetan, and they have come out beautiful.
Because you mentioned that it was a collaborative effort, is that
Yeah.
why you use uh, 11th by Imlliadrakee and not Shruti, or there's some other reason behind the author's name?
So Imlliadrakee is actually again a very I don't know. So there's no logic to it, honestly. But there is if there is esoteric reason. So when I wanted to do something in the lyrical space, poetry, songs, and all, because my regular work doesn't really demand everyday poetry and songwriting. It's more of advertising communication. So a friend of mine suggested, why don't you come up with some like a boutique shop kind of a thing where you only write songs and poetry. So I thought that maybe I'll have a name. Then I tried multiple names, but nothing really worked for me. And one day Imlliadrakee just happened to come, just out of nowhere. This name just appeared in my head, and I thought, yeah, this is what it is. And I did not want any reason, any logic. I did not want to get into the theory of it. So that is what it is. So that is how I started writing. So anything that I write now, especially in terms of poetry, poems, jingles, songs, it goes under Imlliadrakee, which is why I thought even the book should be under Imlliadrakee's name, because I think it's a gift that has come to me from some parallel universe. So I wanted to present it to the world under it.
Absolutely, it completely makes sense. And what I also wanted to understand is that when you chose to write one poem in Hindi, and then you would go to make its meaning and you know uh, an elaborated version of it in some way in English, and then the illustrations. Did you know from the beginning that you would want something in the bilingual domain, or it happened post the poems were done?
No, actually, yeah, it just happened on its own. See, the poems were written much earlier, okay? Because I think couple of them I must have written 3 years ago, 4 years ago, even 10 years ago, and the poems were there. And so when a lot of friends said that you should do a book, and also even I thought that let me just compile like 50 odd poems and do something about it. But when I started compiling, I realized that they are very diverse, like एक का दूसरे से कोई connection नहीं है. That is when I thought that I should write more about each subject, dig out the heart of each poem, and then present it. So which is why I started writing, and that just started coming in English, not in Hindi. Moreover, again, because I am a commercial artist by profession and by academics also, I have done commercial art. So हर चीज का एक commercial angle मेरे दिमाग में आता है, because I feel what is it that everyone will enjoy reading.
Hmm.
So I know that there are more English readers, uh, be it pan India. I wanted that the book to be liked in all regions, and English is our business language, so that is easily understood by everyone. So, which is why all the patches and all the prose of all the entire book is mainly in English, and the it all started with the Hindi poems only. So they are the originators, of course, but the rest of the things are in
Yeah.
English.
You also mentioned that a few of these poems were written 10 years ago, some 3 years ago, and it's
Yeah,
the mediums of communication over the years have changed. People used to write in piece of papers, they have started to write over emails now. How did you preserve these
right.
poems?
So I used to have a diary. Unfortunately, it's really embarrassing you ask this question because I should still write in diary. But now I mostly write and preserve my poem on the machine only. I have a MacBook and I write on them. But yes, I do have a diary, and there are certain thoughts and certain, but it's a very secretive diary. And see, sometimes it so happen, no, which is why I love the space of poetry, because poetry is extremely exclusive. Like I always feel it's the queen. Like अगर जैसे queen अपने घर से निकलती है, तो how in Britain people bow down and what happens. I think poetry is like that. Poetry is, it doesn't show up every day. It shows up only only in certain occasions, in certain energy. एक line आती है, sometimes you just get a verse, like out of entire poetry, दो words आ जाते हैं आपके पास, and then you have to weave everything around it. So that, if that is the journey of poetry, so then uh, and I remember that in that diary I used to just write these two lines or two words and then weave everything around it. But compilation, of course, it's easier to do it on machines, so we all have started
What I also
doing that.
meant is that lives change in 10 years, in 3 years also, people shift, people move. How was
Yeah,
it to preserve this diary? Did you always know that you would be writing a book someday, and which is why you choose to
not
preserve?
really. No, not really. I really did not. I never thought of book writing as another creative expression. I always thought that thanks to social media now, I always record my poetry and then put it on. I have a channel on Insta and Facebook and all, so that was easy. That poetry likhi, record kar diya, and then aapne dal diya. But then this lately, it has just come to me that book is permanence. तो book remains. आपका data खत्म हो सकता है, या फिर you everything might just get erased, anything that is related to technology, but pages remain. I think books remain. So I thought book is a very exclusive way of presenting something out.
Yeah,
So
absolutely. Books are immortal. Yeah, something of a
immortal.
very Ozymandias concept by B.B. Shelley, which is what I could recall right now. Um, what were the challenges that you faced in making this book, making these stories, making these poems immortal?
So yeah, that's an interesting journey I would like to talk about, Vanshika, because see, I on regular basis I am doing my commercial work, which is very brief driven and very like how we do 9 to 5 stuff. I also work from home, but it's a very day to day commercial creative space only. But then my mind space is occupied with day to day business. And then when I used to get to writing book, I literally had to cut myself off everything else that has happened in a day, the meeting, what the client said, and everything. While this is also important because this is also a very important part of my life, but then I have family, I have a child, I have two dogs, they are also my children. And then I was in Wellington that time. My husband is in the army, so he was posted in a beautiful town called Wellington in Nilgiri, so we were there. So there were some social commitments also. So I had to literally, when I was coming to the book, probably every night I used to sit and write. So I had to really push this entire thing out of my mind to get my mental space to, to that periphery where I can think about the anecdotes. See, because it's not only finding some information on Google or in books and writing, just putting the information. I wanted every patch to have some twist or something that I could weave in around it. So I think I will not call it challenging because I enjoyed the process. But yeah, it was very intriguing. And there were some parts when I got stuck and I felt that, ye wala to acha ho gaya. Now this is, in this particular poem, I'm not getting any threads. And
Yeah.
so that I did face, but very little. I think I have always been helped by some energies. So but yeah, that was little challenging to cut myself off and completely concentrate.
I believe you with the energies. While I was reading out the blurb, it mentioned that you have written poems about Mumbai, and I am assuming
Yes.
you live in Mumbai.
I am from Mumbai. I'm born and brought up in Mumbai. Right. Currently, I'm in Pune.
Okay, so has living in Mumbai or being born and brought up in a hustling, bustling city like Mumbai also shaped you and this book? More importantly, this book.
Yes, I think actively, passively, energetically. I think because that's everybody. It's not. I'm not comparing any cities because your hometown is your mother. Get like extremely attached to your hometown. So, and I have really lived in multiple uh, locations in the country thanks to the Indian Army because of our postings. But what I've lived in Mumbai, there are a couple of echoes and a couple of things that I have really absorbed from the energy of Mumbai is outstanding. And I think, yeah, which is why, so the poetry also, again, I think I wrote like 5 years ago. But I thought that whenever I am doing my poetry book, the Mumbai poetry has to go in because it is my tribute. I don't treat Mumbai as a piece of land. It's my mother. Like I tell my mother also that Mumbai is another mother, and no matter how stinky the place is or infrastructurally, it's little all over the place, but the city really, I feel the energy when it is really, the city really gives you a lot and teaches you a lot. It teaches you to never give up and do your hard work. And I have not seen in Mumbai, I have not seen people who have really been there and been doing their stuff and not succeeded. So somewhere Mumbai gives people their own due. Of course, people have diverse opinions about the city, but yeah, for me, Mumbai is a very emotional factor.
Absolutely. One last question from my end. As a creator of this book, who do you want this book to reach to?
Everyone, Vanshika, and it's really funny that when I started writing, see, every person has this apprehension, no? Because again, I would say this that because I am used to thinking about target audience, because that's my field is. When I was writing, I used to think that who will read this, who will get this? Am I writing it too ambiguous? Should I explain it more? But then when I started writing, it again kept flowing, and I thought the book will find its audience, whoever it is. So, and now it's just yesterday my friend had ordered and she received it, and she clicked a picture of her 11 years old, 11 or 12 years old daughter, and she said, "Look, like how Ruhi is hooked onto that book." And I've realized I never thought about it that even a child can enjoy that book because there are stories. There are, like some ancient stories, some both kathaएं, कुछ ना कुछ है उसमें भी that a child will enjoy. So now I do not want to, verbally restrict it to certain audience. I just feel that let it go out there, and whoever enjoys and understands the book, it belongs to them.
Makes sense completely. And I hope you had a wonderful time working with White Falcon Publishing and releasing the
Absolutely, I
book.
can't. And I am not saying this because this platform is given by White Falcon, and I'm talking to the team, one of the team members. But it's just today that I was telling my friend that, see, I like I told you, I'm absolutely new to the field. And I have tried going to some traditional publications also, and but they said, what is the genre of the book? We don't understand this and all that, and which is fair because I wanted to get it out, so I didn't have time to like really follow up. Then I got in touch with White Falcon. I spoke to Sangeet, and the entire team has been so patient. They have not been in hurry. There were a couple of other platforms. I'll not take the name, but they were like, "You have to book the slot right now. You have to pay us right now." So there was a time when I was completely confused, and I thought, "What am I going to do?" And that is when White Falcon was just, you guys just appeared, And since then, the journey has been absolutely amazing. And God bless you all. Really, it's been amazing working with
Thank you so much. I will specifically, especially forward this part of the video to Sangeet.
you. So, God bless you. You're a wonderful team, and many more to you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for considering to be a part of this interview and taking the precious time out at such an hour. Uh, I'm more than
Thank you.
grateful.
Thank you so much, Vanchika, and it's been really amazing. Thank you again for all your help. Much gratitude. And I hope you've read the book too again and you've enjoyed the book. And I'm hoping to meet you all soon.
Yeah, definitely. For the audience watching this, go and get your copy of Imlliadrakee's book 11th, a collection of poetries and a lot of other stories on Amazon, Flipkart, and WFP store. If you haven't yet, because this is a book you shouldn't be missing out on. Thank you so much.